Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I had someone ask me, when you walk out on stage and you've got your hand up in the air and the other hand on your heart, that means that I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Y'all. Now, in other parts of the country, I have to explain to them the word y'all. But I am in Florida, and I don't think I have to interpret that. Let it be borne in mind that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching your goals. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach for. It's not a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity to have no dreams. I don't do podiums or teleprompters. Because my message to the American people comes from the heart and the head, not from a piece of paper or not from the teleprompter. And my message to you today is the American dream is under attack, but the good news is we are taking it back. The American dream is under attack. And when the founding fathers envisioned the Declaration of Independence, as you heard so eloquently presented, and they talked about those principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It didn't say anything about a guarantee. It didn't say anything about a Department of Happiness in Washington, D.C. It said the pursuit of happiness. Just like my parents and your parents. My dad walked off the farm at the age of 18 with just the clothes on his back to pursue his American dream. My mother also walked off of a small farm with just the clothes on her back, but she had a few more items in a grocery bag to pursue their dream. And they did. One of their dreams was for their sons to grow up and get a little bit better start in life than they did. Just like your parents wanted you to get a little bit better start. And just like you want your kids and grandkids to get a better start in life. That's why you do what you do. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So we can allow this sleeping giant called we the people to stay awake and take this nation back. I'm often asked, what made me decide to run for president? Was this a lifelong dream? No. When I was growing up, I grew up poor. So my American dream was, I wanted to make some money. And there's nothing wrong with making money. Profit is not a dirty word. And then after I achieved my American dreams and then some, I realized that God had another plan for me. You know, you go through life and there's your plan and there's God's plan. And after He allowed me to achieve my plan, I was called to do the one that He had in store for me. Let me tell you, when I started thinking about running for president, when Barack Obama took over the White House, as I watched the weakening of America, I, like you, could not sit back and do something about it. I used to have people calling my radio show prior to President Obama and his administration taking office. And they would express concern for the future of America. 6 months into the Obama administration, those same callers were calling, expressing fear for the future of America because of those policies. Now, I know you hear, and you're going to hear again Sunday night from the president, that it was worse than they expected it when they took over. You're going to hear that theme again on Wednesday night. But the only problem with using that excuse is he and his administration accelerated the problems that he inherited. And as a result, we have become a nation of crises. We've got an economic crisis. We've got an energy crisis. We've got an immigration crisis. We've got a foggy foreign policy crisis. We've got a moral crisis. And the biggest crisis we have is a severe deficiency of leadership crisis in Washington. People want to ask, what is leadership? What do you bring to the table? That's what over 40 years of working in the private sector will do. It teaches you how to solve problems, or you won't succeed. You'll fail. Every one of you that has a business, every one of you that's been successful, you succeeded based upon the same formula that's missing in Washington, D.C. Make sure you're working on the right problems. Make sure you surround yourself with the right people. And that will allow you to put together the right plans relative to the economy. The president's spending plan and his spending policies have not worked. Spending nearly $1 trillion has produced zero job growth last month for the first time in over 60 years. The plan ain't working. They're not working. The Secretary of the Department of Labor, when it was reported last Friday that zero job growth, zero new jobs last month, she was interviewed on CNBC. And she was asked, well, how do you explain that? Her response was, and I quote, "We have done all that we can do." And when I was asked about that by a reporter earlier, I said, no, they haven't. This is the baloney they're going to try to tell the American people. Let me tell you the thing that they did not do. They didn't recognize that businesses create jobs, not government. Put the common sense. You don't put stuff in the caboose and expect the engine to pull it. You got to put it in the engine of this economic engine, and it's called the business sector. One of the reasons I don't expect much out of that speech Wednesday night. Thursday night. Oh, they did move it, didn't they? I was kind of hoping to use it on Wednesday and go up against the presidential debate. And he got the higher rating. Let me tell you what I do to fix this economy. I've already produced my 999 plan. I've already offered it to the president, the members of Congress, and the super committee. Challenge them. Use it. I don't care. You want to know why? The American people can't keep waiting. 999 plan. Take the current tax code and replace it with a 9% corporate tax, a 9% personal income tax, and a 9% national sales tax. Now, before the fat tax people get upset, this is just the bridge on the way to the full fair tax down the road. economy. That's what the 9